You know, when you think about a smart factory, it's easy to just picture a bunch of robots, right? But it's so much more than that. It's like a living thing. And for all those parts to work together, all the robots, the sensors, the AI, it needs a perfectly reliable nervous system. Today, we're going to dig into what that nervous system is and why it's so important.
Let's be honest, we all live on Wi-Fi. It runs our homes, our coffee shops, our entire lives, really, and we trust it completely. But here's the crazy part. You take that same technology and drop it onto a modern factory floor, and it starts to buckle. It just can't keep up. The big question is, why?
Because this is Industry 4.0. We're not talking about a handful of devices anymore. We're talking thousands upon thousands of things, all screaming for data at the exact same time. It's a non-stop digital hurricane. And the Wi-Fi we know and love? Well, it becomes a single-lane dirt road in the middle of a superhighway. It's a massive bottleneck, and it's choking the very innovation it's supposed to be supporting.
Now, the real villain in this whole story has a name. It's called variable latency, or jitter. And all that means is unpredictable delays. A tiny hiccup here, a small pause there. On a video call, it's just an annoying glitch, right? But on a factory floor, it's a potential disaster. It's the robot arm that freezes for a split second, throwing off the entire line. It's the safety alert that arrives a moment too late. It's pure chaos, all caused by these tiny random delays. And this just nails the fundamental difference. Wi-Fi is what we call contention-based. And the best way to picture it is a room full of people all shouting at once, just hoping someone hears them. It's messy, it's chaotic. Private 5G, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It's like having a symphony conductor, pointing to each and every device and saying, okay, it's your turn to talk, now you, now you. It's scheduled, it's orderly, it brings control to the chaos.
So the whole game is about moving from that chaotic free-for-all to an environment of absolute, predictable control. And that's exactly what deterministic wireless is designed to do. This isn't some modified consumer gadget. It's a technology that was built from the ground up for the tough, demanding world of a factory.
And here's the secret sauce. The private 5G base station is the air traffic controller for the whole operation. It tells every single device the exact time and the exact frequency it's allowed to use. So what happens? Well, those data collisions, the very thing that causes that dangerous jitter, they just vanish. They're literally designed out of the system. It's physically impossible for them to happen.
And 5G can do all this because it's really three specialized technologies in one. First, you've got URLLC. That stands for ultra-reliable low-latency communication. That's for the supercritical stuff like robot motion control and safety systems. Then there's mMTC, or massive machine-type communications, which lets you connect a mind-boggling 1 million sensors in a single square kilometer. And finally, EMBB, enhanced mobile broadband. That gives you the huge data speeds you need for things like high-def video and augmented reality for your technicians. Okay. The theory sounds amazing, for sure. But what does this performance edge actually look like on the ground? Let's talk about the cold, hard numbers, the measurable advantages that actually impact the bottom line. I mean, just look at this chart. The difference is huge. A single private 5G radio can cover the same area as 4, maybe even 5 Wi-Fi access points. Now think about what that means in a massive factory. It means way less hardware to buy and install, miles less cable to run through the ceiling, and a huge drop in your initial setup costs right out of the gate.
But mobility. Mobility is where Wi-Fi really struggles. And it's because of something called the sticky client problem. See, with Wi-Fi, that little autonomous robot moving around the warehouse floor is in charge of its own connection. It has to decide when to jump to the next access point. And honestly, it's terrible at it. It holds on to a weak signal for way too long, and then packets drop. And the robot just stops, dead. 5G completely flips that script. The network is the smart one now, not the robot. It's always watching the connection, and it proactively hands the robot off from one cell to the next like a perfect baton pass in a relay race. The handover is so smooth that there's zero packet loss. The result? The robot just keeps moving. No stopping, no hesitation, just continuous fluid motion.
And what's the real-world impact of that perfectly smooth motion? How about this? A 30% increase in the operating speed of those vehicles. I mean, 30%. That's not just a little tweak. That's a gigantic leap in productivity. All because the robots don't have to worry about their connection anymore.
And this rock-solid connection becomes the foundation for something really cool called the Industrial Intelligence Fabric. Basically, it means 5G and edge computing can team up. You can have AI running right on the machine for microsecond-level control, or you can orchestrate an entire fleet of robots from the network edge with response times so fast a human literally couldn't perceive the delay. All right, so this all sounds pretty revolutionary, but is anyone really doing this, or is it just a science project? Let's move from the theory to the proof. Let's look at real factories that are getting real results, because the return on investment here isn't some far-off dream. It's happening right now, and it's happening incredibly fast.
So how fast are we talking? Get this. A staggering 90% of industrial companies that deploy this tech see a full return on their investment in a year, 12 months or less. For a major infrastructure upgrade, an ROI that fast is, well, it's almost unheard of.
Let's put a name to the numbers. Take Worcester Bosch over in the UK. They built one of the world's first 5G factory testbeds, and they used that incredibly reliable low-latency connection for things like preventative maintenance, basically listening to their machines for the tiniest signs of trouble before they could become a big problem. So what happened? The result was a documented 2% increase in their total factory output. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 2%? But in a manufacturing operation of that scale, 2% isn't small change. It translates directly into a multi-million-pound impact on their bottom line.
And that's just one factory. Look across different industries and the gains are just incredible. We're talking maintenance costs getting slashed by up to 30%, scrap and waste materials cut by as much as 80%, energy consumption dropping by 20%. The numbers are real and they are dramatic.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, what's the big idea here? What's the one strategic takeaway you need to remember when you think about building the factory of tomorrow?
It really all comes down to this single crucial idea. In our everyday lives, we're obsessed with speed. How fast is my download? But in the factory, speed isn't the most important thing. Determinism is. It's the absolute ironclad guarantee that a message will arrive exactly when it's supposed to, every single time. That predictability? That's the real game changer.
Which leaves us all with one last, pretty important question to think about. The future of manufacturing isn't coming, it's already here. It's intelligent, it's automated, it's connected. So you've got to ask yourself, is my operations nervous system built for yesterday's problems, or is it truly ready for the future?